So before we get started, I'd like to quickly get a confirmation from you all if my screen is visible and my voice is audible. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Thank you so much. So let's get quickly started with the next topic. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So next in hand in the topic, we have the ADLM concept into creator. So this is related to the testing of your application. So whenever you start developing an application, the first requirement for you would be based on the structuring, based on the business process, you will have to manage it, right? So on the second part, when you are sharing it to the end user, you should obviously have a testing process that needs to be completed, and then you will have to share it with the end user, right? For this purpose, we have something called as the ADLM, the environments into creator, which would allow you to perform the testing process. So here in the ADLM concept, we will have the overall application lifecycle management done throughout this particular application development process. So in the C5 version, we had something called as sandbox, and now we have introduced the environments for performing this action, where we have multiple levels that are available, multiple stages that are available in the environments through which you can perform the testings as well, right? So where can this particular environments be visible? So once you enter into your dashboard, you create a dashboard, under the deploy you will be able to view the environments, right? So here, as I previously mentioned, you will have multiple stages that are available in the environments, which is the development, staging, and the production. So let me quickly give you a introduction on to what these different environments are about, and the different stagings, and what would be the major purposes that you can use them for, right? The first one is the development environment. So when you are talking about a development environment, you will be able to make changes, you will be able to develop an application in this specific staging environment, in this specific development environment. And next part, once you are developed, you have completed the development part, you will have to push that changes into the staging, wherein in the staging part you will be able to test it. So you will be able to add multiple demo users, you can assign them multiple roles and responsibility, based on which you can test how it is accessible by different set of users of your app as well, right? So in the staging, you will not be able to perform any development or any other editing inside this staging, and all the development will be done in this particular staging. So you might be having a question, right? So once I complete the development, I'm pushing it to the staging, but later on at some point I want to make few more changes in the application, so that is also possible. So once you have published once you have pushed one of the changes into the staging, you will be able to create another version of an application based on the uh, based on how you are pushing the application from development to the staging, and how you are pushing it to the staging to the production as well. So now talking about the third part inside your environments, which is the production. So under the production, you will be able to publish your application to the customer. So this is where you will be able to view your application and share it to the end user, right? So let me quickly take you to a demonstration. So here. So now talking about how you can add the environments into your application. So how you can add application into the environment. So we have three ways of adding the environments into application. One is directly by creating an app. So whenever you're trying to create an app, I will be provided with an option called enable environment. So this is one of the option wherein the application will be automatically pushed to the environments in the initial stage of creation itself, right? So this is one of the option. And next one, we have the environments option, which is available in the admin dashboard, right? So once I click onto the environments, you have the applications which are available. So these are existing applications that are available, right? Now what I'll do, I can click on to add applications. Upon clicking onto it, we are provided with a list of app that we have inside your account. So I can choose any one of the app from it. So if I'm working with any one of the applications, I can choose them. So this is the app that we were working on. So once I click onto it, I can add this application into the environments. So once, when you're trying to add this application into environments, please be noted that users in the application with the developer role will be removed. So I will share you the details on what is a developer role in an app and a normal user, and also the admin and the super admin role and the portal user in the day 3 of our training. So yeah, so now to give you a quick understanding about a developer role. So when you are providing some app user a developer role, they will have the overall access to edit the application, right? So when once you add this application into the environments, this specific role, if you have configured for this application, will be automatically removed. So that is the notification we have received here. Now, what I'll try to do is that we will try to push this application into environment. So this is the second way that I mentioned. So let me get back. And the third way, so how you can add it in another option. So we have the dashboard, the admin dashboard over here, right? So let me enter into it, right? So you can see we have a lot of applications. So here, once I click onto the more option, we have something called as add to environments. Through this, I'll be able to directly add this specific application into the environment. So let me open this in a new tab. So here, this is the gym management, the app that we have here, which has admin details, the member details, trainer details, and trainee, and so on, the health related member payment, and so on, right? Now, what I'll try to do, I'll try to push this application into environments. So now this, you can see we do not have any status or any other changes available. Whenever I try to enter into the edit mode, you have direct access this application. Just I'm showcasing you these feature is because once you add this particular application into the environments, you will find major changes into these different options that are available. Now you can enable this for the application, the gym management. So once it is added, you will be given a notification that the environment development is progress. So what I'll do, I'll just find this. You can see the development creation is in progress. So these are few status that you might receive when you are performing some changes inside your application and when you're trying to push the application into the environments as well, right? So this is one of the status that you can see whenever the development creation is in progress. So let me refresh it. Yeah, so you can see now it is ready for development, but when I'm trying to publish it to the stage, you can see not yet published. So when I try to push it to the next part, it shows me no changes available. So why this particular status is available is that because we did not make any changes in this application as of now. So it is showing us the specific information. Now what I'll do, I will enter into the edit mode, and we can enter in the trainer, assign workout, or my class or my trainee details, or I can enter into one of the form report. Yeah, so we have a form here, and we have the date, height, and weight, and we can also get few more information from the health update like the status, or we can capture the BMI as well, right? So this would be helpful. And once it is done, you can see it, this particular changes will be visible here inside your environment, right? You can see changes available over here. Now when I try to access this development environment, I'll be able to directly enter into the edit mode. And whenever I enter into an application which has been pushed to an environment, you will have these three options like access development live, access stage live, and production live. So when I try to access this in live, development live, So under the health update, we can see we have the BMI which is available. And on the top, we have a message, the status mentioning it is a in the development stage as well, right? So going back into the application edit mode, when I try to access this in the live off stage, it is not available because we have not pushed this particular component into the next stage, which is the staging environment. So you can see it is not published yet into the staging environment. But when you try to enter into the next stage, which is the production stage, we already have a version which is available. So it will obviously show you that application, but you will not be able to view the BMI option that we added. So under the, let me showcase you once again. So this is the production live. I'm just opening it again here. And then here in the health update form that we added the BMI, it is not showing me the BMI that we added there, right? So this is because we have not published or pushed that particular application into the next stage that we are working with, right? Now what I'll do is that I will just publish it to the staging. So once I click onto it, all the application which has changes into it will be visible. So if there are any version, any changes that is available in an existing app, it will be visible here, and I can choose my specific app, the gym management, and I can proceed it. And here you have or select all or any specific changes that you're doing. So we'll select all because that is the only change that we made, and then I can proceed. So here, once I try to proceed further, it is asking me few information, the version details, because it is another version of your application that you are trying to push into the production, the end, the production here. So I'll mention version 1, and then description, add BMI, and then is it a major or minor change that you made inside the application? So this is a simple minor change that we made, right? So I can add it as a minor change, and you can see when I change it to minor change, the type of version, you can see the version is changing from v1.0 to v1.1, wherein when I choose major, it is showing me v1.0 to v2.0 because it is a bigger version. A major change has happened inside the application. And later on, you can see the email notification. So I can send out an email notification regarding the changes which is available. So if someone needs to be notified, a user needs to be notified, I can add that email address over here and they will be notified again. So once we publish it, let us get back to the environments. So we will be provided with the locked option. So this is another status which is available inside the environments, which does not allow anyone to make any changes in the application during this process of moving application from one stage to another. Maybe, I mean, mentioning the development stage to the staging environment, which is available here. Now, even when I try to access this now, let me just access this in the application. You can see I'm not able to edit it because the process is happening here, and I cannot make any changes into this particular application that we have here, right? So let us refresh it. Once it is published, you will be able to access this particular version. So you can see it has been moved to the next version. So let us refresh it once again. And you can see it is moved back to no changes available, and here the staging is under 2.0 version. Right now, further we can go ahead and publish this to the production as well. Right now, before we perform these different action, you will have to perform few more testing. So how it is visible by end user? So that is where we have something called as the uh, settings, which is available here. So other two options which is under development is for editing. Yeah, so which is for editing the application and accessing the application as well. And then here inside the settings, you have something called as the environment setting, which is specific to the environment that you have, and you will be able to associate these different actions and perform the same. So if I wish to add any demo user who will be accessing this application in the development, for example, we'll have developers who are working in this application, right? So before they push into the testers, so once the developers are completed, they would have to check this from their end, right? So what they can do, they can add multiple demo users and they can assign the uh, type of action that the application will be going ahead. Is it an app based user or a portal based user? You will be able to choose the permission set based on that, and you can also choose the role. So we will be defining the details on the role and the permission in the day 3 of the training in detail. So right now we have some permissions and the role that has been defined here, right? So based on these permission and role, you can assign it to one of the demo user, and the developers who are developing the application can test it according to this particular permission and role. So I'll just give it as trainer and CU. This is for a demo purpose and I'm adding it. So now we have a demo user which is available. Now, whenever the developer who's creating this application or someone who is working on this application, when they enter into the development environment, they will be able to view this application under this particular status. So I'll showcase you how it is visible. Entering into the edit mode, and then I'm entering into the development live. Right here, you can see we are in the development environment, and on top, you can see myself and demo user one who has the permission of trainer and the role is CEO. Once I click onto it, based on this permission and the role, they will be provided with access to the different options. So this is the trainer role. He has access to assign workouts, classes that he have, and the number of trainees that are assigned to him, and assign classes and workouts. So since we do not have any records, we are not able to view the records as well. But through this option, you will the someone who is accessing or performing the environment testing, they will be able to view this. And similarly, we have the same for the staging environment as well. So inside the staging, this is obviously for the testing purpose, mainly for the testers, right? So they can also add multiple demo users and check it from their end as well, right? So this is specific to the staging and the development environment demo users. And we also have the notifications. So if you wish to disable email, or login user has to be signed in as email, and selected users and app specific information can be checked throughout this particular setting option. And we also have SMS notification and push notification as well. And if you have any AI model inside your application, that can also be tested. Any variables that is being created or any workflow schedulers that is being associated with this, that can also be done as well, right? So this is for the staging, and you can perform the same for the development environment, and it is not available for the other different options, right? So once you enter into these options, you will be able to perform it, right? So this is related to your application, so how you can push it to multiple stages, and how you can access this in the uh, live mode as well. And now when talking about the version history of your application, you can see we have multiple versions that is being provided here. So first we had the default package that was pushed into the environment, which had the details. Like when I click onto it, you will have all the details related to the modules that were added. And then the second version, the information that we updated into the new version is visible here, right? So I can choose it based on the application, or choose it based on minor or major changes based on the history, right? So this is related to the environments. Now at some point, if the user wishes to remove the environments, that is also possible. So let me just show this. So before we remove this environment, let me showcase you how it can be published to the production. So we have the version 1. I'm trying to publish it. And once I click on to proceed, we'll be provided with two options. One is immediately publish it, or I can publish it on a scheduled date and time. So you can see publish now or publish later. So at some point, the users will be actively working on your application, but you need to make the changes. That would be very much required for your application. So in that specific scenario, what you can do is that you can identify a specific date and time in which the users will not be actively using that application, and then at that specific date and time you can configure it and you can publish the application that you have created, right? So that would be the publish later option, right? So once it is done, you can also send an email notification for the same, and once I give publish, the changes that we made here, the BMI field that we added here will be available inside your live app as well. So let me enter here. So you can see now it is available inside the production environment, right? Now what I'll do is that I will try to remove the environments of this application. So now clicking onto it, we have the remove environment. Now it asks us to select the environment to be retained, and we can retain the production environment, right? So here, once I click on to proceed, the application will be removed from the environment. So currently we can see it is not available here, but so now let me open it in a new tab. With the new changes that we made, so we have the new changes that we made is available here, and it is as a separate application which is not a part of the environment, right? So this is specific to the environment options that we have here. So if you have any doubts or questions related to this specific feature, do let us know, we'll be able to help you out. So I'll keep myself on mute for a couple of seconds, and post which we can close the session for the day if we don't have any further questions. Thank you so much.